Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are on day 58, and it is our third session this year, and it's called Deepening the Silence. My name is Sylvia. I'm originally from Austria, and I received my self-realization about 24 years back in Austria. And I live in the Chicagoland. I'm also involved in the local Sahaja Yoga programs we have in our center, and sometimes meet you online. So again, welcome to everyone. Very happy that you join us today. We have an ongoing theme is about transformation. And I hope everyone has their foot soak ready. You need the foot soak bucket and the mug with some water, a towel on the side. And as it is now the temperatures outside are getting more warm, we can use more cooler water for the foot soak. If you're new or you're continuing, you can always review the course material and recordings on our website. We have the mentoring program. You can request a mentor, or if you already have a mentor but feel, maybe I need something more, of course you can request another mentor. We are talking today about Shri Buddha and the ego. So I will tell you a little bit about this topic, and then we cleanse our chakras and channels and meditate on the Right Agnya with the foot soak. We will watch Shri Mataji's talk, and then you can listen to live music. We have a second guided meditation, and in the end we chat about different experiences with the ego. I would like now to invite the other presenters to come online. Welcome. Would you like to introduce yourself? Igor, you want to start?
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Igor. I'm from Toronto, Canada, Toronto area, Canada. Practice Sahaja Yoga for about 14 years. Received my self-realization here in Toronto. And I'll be playing some evening raga for the Agya chakra today. Hopefully we can deepen our meditation and enjoy the silence. Looking forward to it.
Thank you, Igor. Yeah, I'm very excited to hear your flute. It is always divine. It is really soothing and beautiful. Rahul, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Rahul. I live in Minneapolis area, Indiana. And it's always a joy for me to be here on this platform with all of you beautiful seekers of truth and share this journey of spiritual ascent with all of you. I've been practicing Sahaja Yoga since 2006, and it has been a wonderful journey of transformation. I'll be guiding a session of meditation towards the end to build upon our experience today.
Thanks, Rahul. So let us get right into the topic. Today we introduce Shri Buddha. Most of you might have heard about him. In Sahaja Yoga, the significance is that he is responsible, you can say, for our ego. To go to the originate, his name was Siddhartha, and interestingly, we have Rahul leading our second meditation. Shri Buddha's son was also Rahul. Shri Mataji explains that what is the pure desire? It is the Kundalini. And to fulfill your desire, to be Buddha, to be enlightened. So Buddha means a person who is enlightened, which counts for all of us as our Kundalini has been awakened and we are now self-realized. Shri Buddha has been seeking answers. He was wondering, and that he realized at one point the problem is the desire, that we still have desires, and that keeps us away from spirituality. But now it is more significant about the ego. The ego, you can imagine, is like a balloon, literally here. I'm pointing to the left side of my head, so it is the end of our right side. It starts at the right svadhisthana, rises up, crosses over, and then here at the left side of the head is like a balloon. And the balloon can have more air or less air, right? So how do I know that I have ego? In the beginning of Sahaja Yoga, I felt, oh, I don't have any ego. If somebody told me something, no, I don't believe, no, I don't have any ego. But after some time, when my chakras and channels became more clear, I realized, actually, I have a lot of ego. And then, so that's always the first step, the realization that you have a problem. Okay, now how can I sort it out? How can I work it out? How can it leave me? It doesn't mean I don't have ego. Everybody has ego, but maybe a bit reduced, so less inflated balloon. Shri Buddha also talked about collectivity. How collective are we? And are we aiming towards collectivity? For example, a person who might live alone has a certain way, always wants to have, say, food at the same time, or certain things have to be a certain way. That can create ego within us. Then if we are faced with another person or we are in conversation, the other person might do things differently. And then the first person says, oh, I have to do it like this. And the other person, no. You see what I mean? It is, then a friction starts because of the ego. Most conversations where there is a friction, you can say it is either through ego or superego. But today we will explain you more about the ego part. Shri Mataji gives the very sweet example that there's a fool who is going up the stairs and another person is coming and the fool says, I don't move for fools. And the other person says, I do. You see? So ego makes us think we are always right, and it also does not let us see ourselves. Shri Mataji explains that in the beginning, maybe that we feel, oh, she's talking about somebody else, not about me. Oh, I know this person and this person. Oh, she's talking about this. But when we realize and accept that we have the ego and we want to clear it out more, oh, she's talking about me. I have to introspect. I have to improve myself. So as we go subtler and subtler, and slowly our meditations are deepening, also our acknowledgement that we have ego will take place. You can say that you recognize, yes, I have ego, I accept, but now I learn how to work it out. So how can you work it out? Laughter. Laughter is the best medicine. That you look yourself into the mirror and you talk to yourself and say, oh, look, what have I done today? And just laugh at yourself. It was really a challenge for me. I could not do it. That why should I laugh at myself? And I'm not funny. And why should I do that? And what's wrong? These are typical things that the ego does not allow us to see ourselves. So now let us get into the foot soak. We begin by raising our kundalini and take a bandhan. We can give the circular movement around the foot soak and then put our feet in the water. We can close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. And when we breathe out, we imagine that how our balloon, our ego balloon, we breathe out, our ego balloon reduces. We just deeply breathe out all the stress from the day. We can balance our left side. The left hand stays on the lap and the right hand points to the ground. Mother, please remove all emotional imbalances from our left side and take it into Mother Earth. Mother, please remove all emotional imbalances from our left side and take it into Mother Earth. We will meditate for 2 minutes like this. We can keep the right hand back on the lap. Then we balance our right side. The right hand stays on the lap and the left hand points at the elbow, palm facing backwards. We take the affirmation, Mother, please remove all futuristic thinking and planning, all heat from our right side, and take it into the sky. Mother, please remove all futuristic thinking and planning from our right side and take it into the sky. Let us again meditate silently for 2 minutes like this. We can bring the left hand back on the lap. See how you feel now. Lighter. So to cleanse our ego, there's several ways we can do. We start by taking the mantra. Can we please see the slide for the mantra on the screen? So the mantra for the right Agnya, it is still the left side of the head, but it is the right Agnya, remember? Because the right channel crosses over and the forehead and ends on the left side of the head. So let us take the mantra all together. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Buddha Sakshat Shri Adishakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. We can keep our left hand here on the left Agnya. And we can take also an affirmation. Mother, I surrender my ego to my self-realization. Mother, I surrender my ego to the spirit, to my spirit. Mother, I surrender my ego to my self-realization. Mother, I surrender my ego to my spirit. We'll meditate silently for a minute. Let us keep the right hand back on the lap. Another way to cool down the ego, if we take the right hand and we move our right hand to the left side of the head and take it out and push down our right side. Let us do that a few times, very slowly and gently. Push it down. Then we will massage the Sahasrara. Now that we have cleared the ego, we can go with our attention in Sahasrara on top of the head. So we massage clockwise a few times and press a bit hard. We release our hand a few inches above. See if you feel the cool breeze above your head. If you get a warm wind, it means your subtle system is still clearing out. And we can move the right hand back on the lap. For another few moments, let us close our eyes. And now our complete focus and attention is above the head. Let us slowly open our eyes. And we can complete the foot soak by rinsing our feet. We just move it on the side. We can throw it later on. With our attention still on top of the head, we will now watch Shri Mataji's talk.
Today, we have decided to celebrate the Buddha Jayanti. It's the day of Buddha's birth. In the whole map of time, Buddha came to this earth at a time when it was so important for him to come. That time, especially in India, we had two types of people. One who were very ritualistic, trying to be extremely strict and disciplined. And the another were the people who were too much conditioned and were full of so-called devotion to God. So these two types of people were occupying the area of seekers. So it was necessary to neutralize these two styles of seekings. Buddha and Mahavira are in essence supported by Hanumana and Bhairava. That is, as you know, Gabriel and Saint Michael. The principle that took birth is the principle of a disciple. And this principle was born much earlier as the two sons of Sri Rama. This principle was brought on this earth and incarnated. One, to conquer the ego of human being. Another one, to conquer the superego of human being. Buddha, when he was born, he found that there was misery everywhere. And the misery, according to him, was due to the desires we have. So, to be desireless is the best way to achieve nirvana. That's what he came to conclusion. But how to become desireless? You are sitting in the sand, and if you see the sand doesn't get attached to anything. You put anything on it, it will not spoil anything. You put water, it will stick on, and as soon as you try to throw it away, the whole thing will disappear into thin air. So, to develop that kind of detachment or to develop a life which was desireless was his aim. And that's why I say he was a disciple principle. So the disciple principle has to find out the way and method. While the Guru principle are the people who have already found out. Because he has to create a way and path. So he studied all kinds of books, went to many places, he read Upanishads, then he saw the people who are busy with Vedas and were doing all kinds of ritualism. With the ritual, they never got the realization, which is actually the first verse of Veda, is that by reading the Vedas and by doing all the rituals of the Vedas, if you do not become Vida, means self-realized. Vida word means to know. If you don't know the divine on your central nervous system, then you are just missing the point. It is all useless for you to read Vedas. So he went into various areas of search. As today we find many seekers have been going to many people to find out the truth. And he was tired, very tired. He thought all his seeking, all his working hard, all his efforts, everything has just made him tired. And he thought it was all fruitless. So he was lying under a banyan tree. And there, the Adi Shakti gave him realization. When all your searches are over, people search in money, in power, in love, and all kinds of things. Ultimately, people start searching in various groups, cults, gurus, all kinds of drugs, alcohols, whichever way are possible they try to search. But when human beings try to search something, then in their movement they either go to the left or to the right. And he being such an ardent seeker and such a truthful seeker, he could see very clearly that this is not the path of going left or right. But there has to be some ascent, but how to achieve it? Who is going to give him self-realization? All that tiredness, he laid down himself under a tree and suddenly he got his realization. When he got his realization, he started understanding why this problem of conditioning and ego is there. He found out one thing, that people when they read too much and try to understand through ritualism God, then they develop their ego. The other side, he found out that when people just with some desires go on praying to God, give me this, give me that, they become mad. And when he realized it, then only at that moment when he was tired, he got his realization. This is exactly what is happening today in the modern times. That those who were seekers have been seeking the divine on the left and right hand side. Nowadays they are jogging. I don't know what they are going to achieve through jogging. They are jogging like mad. Then they are ardent Christians, ardent Muslims, fighting the whole world for their religion, for their God, for in the name of Muhammad Sahib, in the name of Krishna, in the name of everything. Then they think that religion is in danger. I mean, it is not. Neither the prophets nor the incarnations, nobody is in danger. Not at all. How can they be? And no religion, if it is true religion, can be in danger. But this he only realized after his realization. But his followers who came did not see the point that ultimately it is self-realization is talking. Actually took all the care to see that people should get their self-realization first.
So let's try to deepen our state of meditation. Slow down our breathing, relax our muscles, and try to keep attention fully on top of our head. We can raise our energy 3 times using our right hand slowly, following from Muladhara all the way up. Another time, second time. And once more. So let's try to listen to the music through our meditation, through the top of our head, through our Sahasrara chakra.
Thank you, Igor. The music intensified the vibrations, cemented the silence. Let's feel this silence, enveloping this moment. Surrounding us in the cocoon of deep peace. Let's take our attention to our heart, to the source of the experience of peace in our being. See if we can feel that peace radiating from our heart. Effortlessly, like the rays of the sun. Let's take our right palm close to our heart. See if we feel a coolness flowing from our heart. Let's put our right palm on our heart. Here we say inside, I surrender to this peace of my truth. I surrender to the pure light of self-knowledge, self-awareness. I surrender to my spirit, to my Buddha nature, my true self. I detach from all the concerns of this body, all the thoughts of my mind. Here we will say Buddham Sharanam Gacchami 3 times, which means that I surrender to my enlightened consciousness, to my self-realization. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami. Your right palm back. Just continue to meditate in silence with our attention on our breath. Now, let's take our attention to the area of void within us, around the third energy center. And we can place our right palm there. Here we say inside that I surrender to that inner source of guidance, that inner source of wisdom, pure knowledge, to that inner sense of righteous living. That keeps us in the center where we are. Here we will say 3 times. Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami. I surrender to that innate wisdom, that sense of righteousness, to my self-mastery. Dharamam Sharanam Gacchami. Dharamam Sharanam Gacchami. Dharamam Sharanam Gacchami. Our right palm back to our lap. Let's meditate in silence, keeping our attention on this. Now, let's take our attention to our Vishuddhi center in the area of our throat. We can place our right palm there. Here we say inside that I surrender to the collectivity, the collective awareness, the ocean of collective consciousness. So that the drop of my limited being can lose its limitation, experience itself, the infinite freedom and liberation of being that ocean. Place our right palm on our forehead. Here we say inside, I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. I forgive others. Let me not play into the illusion of separateness. Let me realize the truth. There is one primordial consciousness expressing itself through each one of us. We are all connected, part and parcel of that. Here we will say 3 times. Sangham Sharanam Gaccha. I surrender to the collective awareness. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Place our right palm on top of our head. Massage top of our head. In the lotus of our sahasrara is the jewel of our realization. Raise our right palm above our head. See how far and wide we can sense the flow of vibrations, or the presence of silence. Let our attention rise as high it can, expand as wide. Keep it there. Bring our right palm back down. Let's meditate in silence. Our attention above our. Let this silence be a mirror where you become more and more aware of your true self, of the awareness itself. In this peace, there are no desires. It's complete desirelessness. In this peace, there is no efforts. Completely effortless. In this silence, we feel complete, above any vexations, agitations of our mind, above any vana. This is nirvana. So let's conclude. By slowly raising our Kundalini. Put ourselves. Right? Back to you, Sylvia.
Thank you, Rahul. That was wonderful. Thank you, Igor, for the beautiful music.
Thank you all for beautiful meditation and guidance. Felt amazing silence.
We have come to the official almost ending for today's program. We will go through a few announcements now. So this third session, Deepening the Silence, will continue Tuesdays, Thursdays and Sundays till June 18. And we have a collective foot soaks and meditation Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. It is at 8:45 p.m. in the Eastern time zone. Our next topic on Sunday is about that for some people, dramatic changes happen quickly when they start practicing Sahaja Yoga, but for some of us it takes longer time. So let's celebrate the small steps together and recognize and celebrate the small steps. So join us on Sunday for that. We have the program resources. You can scan the QR code here to go to our website. You can request a mentor. Please fill out the form posted in the Zoom chat, or you can join our WhatsApp group community. There you can ask any questions or connect with any Sahaja Yoga practitioner anytime. If you would like to join the breakout room, then please write to breakout room help. A Sahaja Yoga teacher is waiting there for you, or you can write to chat questions and answers, or you can write to the MC and we will try to answer your questions. Yeah. This is the formal end of today's program. Thank you for joining us again. So either you want to join a breakout room or you stay in this main room. Let me invite back Igor and Rahul. Thank you, that was so beautiful. Very silent and complete flow of cool vibrations in the hands. So our today's topic, Shri Buddha. Since the beginning, since I started Sahaja Yoga, I learned a lot just listening to a lot of stories, and also the ancient scripts are written in a story form so that it is more easy for people to understand. So I'm curious, do you have any stories you would like to share about Shri Buddha, Rahul?
Growing up, Shri Buddha was inspiration in my life because I was a seeker from childhood, and I was born in India, a place which was very close to where he got his enlightenment. And so his life, I felt very much resonance with my own, with that seeking. And there are many stories about Buddha that are inspiring and guiding. And the one that has stuck with me and is the story where, as Shri Mataji mentioned, that Buddha went to this path of searching, and then he was trying hard to get to his self-realization. So first he was living a life of comfort and pleasures, and then he took a path of renunciation and went to the forest, did penances, and he led an ascetic life, but he was not getting close to his realization. And then one day he saw a musician in a boat, and the musician was playing a song on his instrument, and what it said was that if the string of the instrument was an instrument like sitar, if it is loose, then no music will come out of it. But if it is too tight, then the string will break. It is only in the balance, in the middle, that the beautiful music of life is manifested. And that was, I think, the turning point, the trigger where Shri Buddha realized that it's not the extremes of the left or right where the truth can be found. They both end in the dead end of ego, superego. But you have to be in the center, in the middle, and that is where the ascent of Kundalini happens. And then he sat down with complete surrender and under the Bodhi tree, the banyan tree, and there the divine blessing, grace fell upon him and got his realization.
Wow, that's a beautiful story, right? It tells us how much we want to be in balance, and it's such a good an example. In general, Shri Buddha, I think before he was born, the parents consulted the horoscope, and then it was said either he can be a great king or a great saint. So as the father was a king, of course he wanted his son also to become a king in the future and gave him all the pleasures of life. But there was also a sensation in Siddhartha, his name was Siddhartha before he became Buddha, of seeking. So seeking is that innate feeling, this is not, what is the meaning of life? Why am I here? What is the truth? So that's what we call seeking also in Sahaja Yoga, that we want to find I have everything, you know, I have a good home, I have a family, I have job, I have enough money, I have everything, but still there's some type of unsatisfaction, you can say. And then that leads us into growing our attention higher, you can say, into the spiritual level and seek the truth. Yeah, that's how we all reach to this point here. That's wonderful. Igor, do you have any stories?
Yeah, actually, the one story that resonates, kind of stands out. Well, first of all, I watched a series, the Indian series about Buddha. Of course, it's we can take it with a grain of salt and know how they made and how they reflect, but it gives idea. But I remember the story that Shri Mataji says, repeats about Buddha, that when he was walking from village to village, so in one village, somebody was insulting him and attacking him and saying some harsh things about him, and eventually Buddha left with his followers to another village. And then somebody said to this man, "Did you know whom you insulted?" I mean, at that point, Buddha was already quite famous, and they told him, "This is Lord Buddha. This is the enlightened soul." And the guy came running and looking for him in the next village. And then he came to see Buddha, and Buddha asked him, he says, "I apologize what I done to you. I'm sorry." And Buddha asked him, "When did you do that?" He said, "Yesterday." And Buddha said, "I don't remember yesterday. I don't know yesterday." So there's something very striking and very powerful message, you know. Like
Yeah,
we carrying the bags of all the stuff, all the luggage from our past, and it's sitting on our back like a monkey. And the regular life, it's like, how do we get rid of it? And this just simple answer. But of course, it's we are able to do that after realization, not before. Before, this concept is not really
It's a state, yeah.
understood. The state, yeah. So
yeah, no.
that's a story that is very kind of resonates in my mind frequently.
So the ego ties in with forgiveness and actually forgetting. That if the ego holds on to something that you remember after 10 years ago you did this and this to me, right? So, but if we truly surrender the ego, then we also forget small things. It has no importance to us anymore. So as we all three got realization some time back, but we were not born with our Kundalini awakened, we went through some different upbringings in different cultures, right? Rahul, you grew up in India. Igor, you grew up in Moldavia. Yeah.
Got it.
I grew up in Austria. Everywhere, different cultures, and spirituality is lived not so much, say, for example, in Austria. So I grew up more, say, getting used to comfort and also ego without knowing. For example, at work, when you get a compliment, you did some work very well, the boss will praise you, and then, "Oh, I did so good." And then you go to, "Oh, you know, the boss praised me. Oh, I did so good." You don't realize how much our ego balloon becomes bigger and bigger. And so over the years, then it changes to, if somebody now gives me a compliment for something, it goes in the heart. It comes as love. So once we realize we have the ego and the ego balloon deflates, it reduces, it comes back as love to our heart. Yeah. So Rahul, in your upbringing, did you have any experiences, and then how through Sahaja Yoga you could change the view with the ego and got more awareness about the ego?
Yeah, definitely. I had various misidentifications of the ego. But one striking one which I would relate to here is that, again, in that seeking journey, I read many different books, tried many different things. And what happens is that it gives you a spiritual ego where you feel that you know you are enlightened, you understand, and and that is again a big illusion again, because it's just at a mental level. It does not transform you, and it does not give you you know inside that it's not, you're still searching, you're still seeking. And but that can be a hindrance, that knowledge can be a hindrance. And that's where, when I received my realization, I realized that no, it's I have to empty myself, and I have to experience it. I have to imbibe that experience of the spirit, and not just have a conceptual understanding of it. Of course, later on, when you have the experience, then you can use that knowledge for the good. But without the experience, that knowledge can be a barrier. So one has to be careful that, yes, not finding ourselves leaving a grosser ego identification and picking up a more subtler ego identification.
Very nice. What about you, Igor? Any experiences before you got your realization with ego?
Well, before, like you mentioned, when you do a good job or you do a good mark in school or whenever, when people praising you and or not praising, or that just somebody said you did a good job, you take it like automatically inflates. But we're living in darkness, so we're not aware that we exploding, blowing out this balloon. And of course, if something happens bad against you, take it. So it's a opposite side of the coin also. So you feel down and you feel like so you take everything up on yourself. And after coming to Sahaja Yoga, the change doesn't happen automatically. It's still, we need to tap into our awareness, into our into the teaching of Shri Mataji, and so all these pieces of puzzles they put together, and yeah, things happen, and also this ego comes out, and sometimes it takes time until you realize that you're indulging into this old way of behavior. But the difference is that you after like shortly after this, you able like put yourself on the outside to look at yourself like a witness, and you tell yourself, I mean, we tell yourself that this is not the right way. This is something taking me back into my old days. So it's not something you want to be again. So of course, it's a work in progress. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it's continuous journey, right? The small steps, the daily small miracles. And so let us talk a little bit, how can I recognize that I have the ego? And because we are so used to it, it is so much part of us until now, before we got our realization that maybe we are not aware. So typical sentences are, what's wrong? Oh, I can do that. What's wrong? Also, shoulder shrugging sometimes is a sign of ego. What else? Like always pointing out, oh, you are always wrong, right? I mentioned earlier that Shri Mataji says she talks to someone that, oh no, Shri Mataji is talking about someone else, and then no, she's talking about me.
It's not my
Ego
fault.
is not my fault. I'm the best, I'm the strongest. Oh, you can't tell me anything. I know everything. Sometimes also the facial expression change if you talk to an ego person. In another way, if we get more sensitivity to the vibrations, that we talk to someone, suddenly we feel more heat coming up, or you get a sensation or the gut feeling that someone is lying to you or expressing just talking to the ego. On the opposite, if you meet someone who is also meditating in Sahaja Yoga and you have a nice little chat on the phone and personal, you start feeling like a coolness in the heart, or you start feeling the cool vibrations in the hands. So, yeah, Rahul, do you have any examples of typical sentences, or we know that's the ego talking?
Yeah, I mean, ego is very much like a blind spot, right? It doesn't see itself, but it sees the faults of the others, and it needs to be shown a mirror to recognize itself, and that is what meditation does. It gives you a mirror. But yeah, typical examples is that when we blame others for our misfortunes, our situations in our life, and find faults with others, that no, I haven't done anything wrong. This happened because this person did this to me, or sometimes we also compare that, okay, what I did was not as bad as what this person, right? And we try to justify our actions, wrong actions, by that. So, yeah.
Igor,
That's
do you
why.
have any sentences from your experiences?
Yes. So having worked in the industry at workplaces prior to Sahaja Yoga, of course, it's stressful environment, and many instances where you just trying to to defend yourself, or to avoid, or like stressful situations, and not taking, putting a blame on someone, or vice versa, or defending myself in a way that it inflates my ego. So there were plenty of situations, but you know what? In Sahaja Yoga, things changed. Also, the work environment, the stress is gone. I don't know. It's not applicable for anyone. It's just in my own experience, in my own case. I moved to another job, and it coincided when I got my self-realization, and somehow situation helped to avoid these cases, but also in communication with people and everything. So, but as I said, it's a work in progress. Everything, we're evolving, we're growing, we're practicing. But Sahaja Yoga gives us tools, so we can bring ourselves back,
Yeah.
where we should be, quick enough, without going off the road too much. So
Yeah, and another example, if we tell someone to do something, but more in a commanding way, okay, you do this, you do that. If it's the children, if it's the husband, if it's a family member, without waiting, like we almost command, oh, you do this right now. If you do it 5 minutes later, then the whole world collapses. That's another typical ego thing. So it also comes.
Like to be in control of situation also.
Yes, control the communications. Their personalities, they talk non-stop. They can talk for 2 hours and you don't even get a chance to say one word in between. I'm giving extreme examples, of course, now, but that is also a way the ego likes to listen to itself. So that's why if we explain if an egoistical person which has more, I'm getting thoughtless, then the words run away. So if a person talks continuously, it's just so much self-indulgence, because they just enjoy listening to themselves and they're so fully satisfied because the ego is satisfied. Yeah, I'm just telling. And then they don't care, what does the other person think, what does the other person feel. So when we meditate and we realize this is happening, we just say stop, stop. Also, the ego is very related to the right Svadhisthana. It's the lower abdomen on the right side, like where the hip bone is. And they're the seat of our liver and the attention. When we are in stress, like for example at work, our liver heats up. The liver has that quality to absorb heat. And then if we cannot take out the heat travels up our right side, expresses through anger, judgment, a loud voice suddenly, or dominating others. And then if it still cannot escape our system, the heat is still there, it travels more up, and it you can say inflates the balloon. So that's why we use the ice pack to cool down our liver, or we use the colder foot soak. We bring down our ego, like really push down. Let's try that again just a few times. So the right hand goes along the left side of the head, crosses over, and push it down. Let us close our eyes just for a couple of moments. We can do that a few times a day, or when you sit and meditate. Try that for a week, you will feel a big difference, yeah. So we have talked, yeah. Yes, that balancing the ego and the superego, both, yeah.
But that's a good point, yeah, good idea.
So we have talked about ourselves. What about others? If we realize another person has a lot of ego, do you know any gentle ways how to help them to realize their ego, or how can we help others? Because it's really a fun game. The ego is so much fun, right? We are seeing another person, oh, this person has so much ego. And then actually, of course, we also have ego, but we strike a balance. We want to be in the balance. And if we come down, humble ourselves down, bring humility in our heart, gratitude in our heart. And then, so Rahul, do you know any ways we can help others also to deflate their balloons of ego?
I mean, the best ways, the sage ways, are the subtle ways to use first. Like we can give abundant on our palms or even on the heart, and you can say that let the pure power of love of my Kundalini act upon this person. Let this person feel my love. And that really helps in many situations. Instead of directly confronting or trying to address that situation on a mental level or a verbal level, which can easily spiral out. And the other thing is, sometimes if you're in a very difficult situation, then you can just remain silent and keep your attention samsara and let your silence just radiate through your being. And when you are in the balance, then your energy on a subtle level will bring others who are there in balance. So your presence will help cool people down. So it works better if you just remain anchored to your sahasrara and not react and witness the situation. If the person is more open, a seeker, then can meditate with that person together and let them see it on their own vibrations where they are getting obstructed. So these are some methods, I would say.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's really so gentle and soft that we introspect, we don't speak it out loud, like we just speak the pure desire, and then our Kundalini, which is the pure desire, will work it out.
Work it out, yeah.
That's beautiful, yeah. Igor, have you had any experiences or gentle ways to help others?
I must agree with Rahul on the point that there is no gentle, direct ways that I know of to point out to someone that they have inflated ego. When I face someone with this inflated ego, just like Rahul said, I try to really stay in this total state, or at least bring my attention on top of my head. It's the best protection that Shri Mataji taught us, and not to be aggressed or not to be any impact of that, but directly pointing out, it will just ignite more fire and more backlash and everything. And yeah, like he mentioned, those are techniques. Let the person go through few bumps here and there, and they realize, if they're Sahaja yogis, they will realize that they're going, there's something wrong with them. If not, that all you can do, if they're not Sahaja yogis, all you can do, you have to protect yourself. You have to connect with your spirit. You bring your attention, you work on your attention. And those are, in my opinion, in my practice, these are best ways, because there's no way to face them and try to gently tell them about
Yeah, ego does
it.
not like to. Yeah, ego does not like to get exposed. Yeah, and point it out.
And of course, they feel good about it, right? They feel good that they are dominating, or they are like that. If they're not Sahaja yogis. So here we have to draw the line, like
Yeah.
differences are.
Yeah, there's an interesting Zen story where illustrating this point, where three monks, they decide to meditate in silence, and they said that no one will speak, whoever speaks is out. And they're meditating, and then the first monk said, broke his silence, said, "Oh, what was that noise?" And then the second monk said, "You spoke." And the third one said, "I am the only one who did not speak."
Thank you, Rahul. Yeah.
I am the only one without ego.
Thank you so much for all the explanation. That was wonderful. We have a lot of introspect and to see ourselves and increase our awareness about our own ego, and to eventually ascend to the level of above the head and be in meditation. Yeah. Thank you so much for today. So we conclude the program for today. Our next program is on Sunday, so we will see you there. Have a fantastic evening. Thank you, everyone.